be the first to know. This is the Commerce Show.
Yes. Viewers of the Commerce Show, a very good afternoon to all of you. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you are watching us in the world. Sincerely, we want to apologize for starting late this program today. We'll be having technical problems from Nigeria. We're having a guest on the program, which we will introduce to you at some point. But thankfully, while we're thinking of even rescheduling for another day, I think the system just got it right. So we really apologize for coming. A lot of you have been, talking to us what is going on privately. Thankfully, we are here, and to God be the glory that we can reach you using the wings of technology this afternoon. So without much ado, I just want to introduce the team. I am Comrade Dr. Tony Agbonsewaife, anchoring today's show. I have with me in the house my brother who has nicknamed this show the Sunday Tonic, pharmacist Comrade Remira. Greet our people, pharmacist.
Thank you so much, my darling brother, Comrade Dr. Tony Agbonsewaife. I want to join you to quickly apologize to our TV viewers very profusely for starting this program really behind schedule. Our people, we greet una cacabolically and say, please, technology sometimes can be very funny. And that's the reason why we are starting late. But having said that, the 7th day of August 2022, and it's your darling program, The Comrade and Friends. Like Dr. Tony Agbon said, we have a big elephant in the house. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. I will allow Dr. Tony to do that. But thank you very much for joining us. And remember the deal. Don't watch alone. Don't listen alone. Please share. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Remira. So I'll quickly go to the other musketeer, the one we popularly call the CNC of the Comrade Show. Our brother, the Comrade Emeritus himself, Comrade Oriaki. Greet our people.
Yes, thank you so very much, Comrade Dr. Tony Agbonsewaife. Yes, Nigerians, greetings to you all. It's the Comrade Show, the Comrade and Friends. Big elephant in the house. You know the drill. Just share and let's roll together. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lante Ponsa Oriaki. I always like putting that Ikpongosa. We have to give thanks to God all the time. Yes, distinguished viewers, Nigerians, non-Nigerians all over the world, we have a big elephant. Not just an elephant. This is a tiger, is a lion, an icon, a legend, a quintessential generational musician, an artist of no mean repute. In fact, if you put all the adjectives in the word, it's not enough to introduce. In fact, I'm really having goosebumps because growing up as a child in Benin City, we used to rush to buy his cassettes. A lot of our children, we don't even know what that is now, to listen to this great, son of Nigeria. So I have the singular honor on behalf of the guys in this studio today to introduce to us so that you can just say hello to everybody. Our big uncle, ORITS, WILIKI. Epa, greet your people.
Hello, my dear. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me. To God be the glory. We've seen 7th of August, and seriously, we've been waiting for this day, and we are here. To God be the glory.
Welcome, sir. Epa is looking so young. I don't know, they say age go up, but Epa, his longevity is going the other way. I don't know if you are doing it, Pale. You will tell us the secret today.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
We were discussing before we came live on air. This is a known face. I doubt if you mention the name ORITS WILIKI in Nigeria and abroad. Too very hard for somebody to say he doesn't know this face. You've been there forever, kind of. And to borrow the word of one of my other uncle, Harry Bakare, you are one of the living deputy ancestors we still have around. Oris WILIKI, for those who may not know, is a Nigerian musician from the reggae genre who gained much recognition in the mid-late 80s when he released that hit track, Tribulation. I'm just credit to Wikipedia for what I'm reading now that he produced. He released another powerful one, Conqueror, in 1990. And then in 1991, he released Wadis Wadat. And a lot of, songs and music he's put out there. We call him the cool man revolutionary. Oris WILIKI. So I want to ask you the first question before I bring my other musketeers on board. Why did you take to music? Why was it music?
Okay. I would say that I started very early, and the mentorship, I would say, came from my father, who happened to be a Reverend Baptist. He was a missionary, and he was always like, taking open campaign rallies here and there, planting churches in riverines and the interiors of Edo and Delta State. And so I joined the choir as early as 8, and so from there on, it was music. But then he left me so early at the age of 48, 49. And I was like, okay, if this man wanted to reach out to people at that time, through campaign rallies, I think I'll do better if I go with music. And so I decided to continue where he stopped. So basically, I was to continue where my father stopped, in driving the message home, the message, the gospel of God.
Thank you, sir. Pharmacist Remiran, take the mic, my brother.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons, and to the Comrade Show for inviting this living legend. To me, Oris WILIKI is a household name. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag now. In a few days' time, I'll be 47. I was only 7 when Oris WILIKI started singing. 40 years is a long time. And I still remember with nostalgia the music, Wadis Wada. The art of flow. And I believe today you are going to let us know. Also, to something special I want to say. The closest I got to you, I don't know if you remember, Oyi Alegbe was a newscaster in EBS.
Wow.
He then Bender State, and he happened to be a distant uncle of mine. And if you have forgotten, he got married around the late 90s, and you came to the estate to sing. That was the first time I saw you in close range. So thank you so much for that. But what I want to ask you, I think this is important. In this day and age, when we are worried about people not going to school, people attending school, some people want to know you. Want to know you before that music. And I also want to ask, I know Oris WILIKI. Oris is a short form. Can you tell us your full name and tell us the primary school and secondary school you went to and how this music all started? I really want to know.
Okay. The full meaning of Oris is Orishabemiwo. It's an Ishakiri name. And I remember when somebody was asking me to spell my name, in a place where while I was young. He said, this is too long. Cut it short. So that's why I started becoming Oris, instead of Orishabemiwo. I believe in the education of the mind, my dear brother. And when we talk about education, I always believe that we stop learning when we stop breathing. And education is a lifetime thing. Most of the people we study their works today were illiterates. And I'd see that education used to wow our heads. And, we believe that until you acquire the entire certificates in this world, you may not gain the desired respect. So I decided from beginning to call myself an illiterate who is on the world go, who is still understudying my environment, understanding my world, And so for me, education is a continuous process until only the dead are educated.
So let me just before I call on Comrade Odiaki. So in view of what is going on, we can actually see your friends from primary school, secondary school, and all that. So that's the question we're asking. So because people want to know, you schooled in Benin, in Warri, and some people even say you are from Edo State. Some say you are from Delta. Some say you are from Heaven. So which of these states are you actually from?
I am a Bendelite. When I say Bendelite, you remember that Edo Delta were one before, and so it was Bendel States. My father is from Delta. My mom is from Edo, as divided today. So I am Edo and an Ishekiri.
Brilliant, Comrade Lamptey.
What I go on, man?
Everything nice and easy.
Jairus the Pharaoh, hey Selassie, bro.
Yes.
I greet you, bro.
Thank you.
Kuma Revolutioner. Honestly,
Yes,
I greet you, bro. I really, honestly, we are pleased, we are happy you're here. And just before you came into the studio, we're having a chat. And Tony was, very emphatic in saying that when our legends are alive, it's important we recognize them, we give them their place of pride. You have made huge contributions towards the music industry. 40 years. So do you want to tell us how it's been this last 40 years?
Okay, 40 years. It's like we're talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. First of all, I would like to give thanks to God Almighty for life. I remember we were very many at the time, but today, sadly, we are very, very few. Not because of my righteousness, nor of my goodness, but it is the grace of God Almighty. All right.
Yeah.
40 years has been that of the rough roads. Rough roads in the sense that, like I keep telling people, if you weigh WILIKI as a name on the preference of scale, I should be living in an island, compared to my colleagues and other clients. We're coming from a background where there was no respect for our intellectual properties. The record companies that we all had then were all like master-slave relationship. And then we have people who we think who could fix the society right as leaders, disappointing everybody. And so one of the things I decided to do some 20-something years back was to hand my guitars and see how we can restructure the industry to allow people give respect to our works, because that is our only pension. And so I fought that for like myself and some other colleagues of mine of like minds. We fought that for 26 years to see that we have our copyright system working. And without our copyright system working, we will continue to live in poverty just like we have been. Because no matter how you look at it, we have only enjoyed the show, and not the business part of our music. Only now that things are beginning to set in, we can see our kids doing all well now, but it was basically the fight we fought for 20-something years to free this industry from the hands of the hijackers who had taken this industry in their pockets. And so you'll be surprised to see some of my colleagues at the time dying of common typhoid. They couldn't even help themselves medically. Whereas these are people who have worked so hard, who ought to enjoy the worth, of their sweat. But people who hijacked the industry, took the industry and took us all for a ride, and was making everybody, including the record companies. The record companies was like a master servant. Let me give you an example. Most of the contracts the Nigerian artists signed over the years were contracts that says that, okay, first of all, they will own your copyright for 25 years, right? And then they sponsor your recording. They will have to recoup all this money from the sales of your works through royalties payment of probably 30 kobo at a time, at that time. Now, if they spend 5 million on you to produce you and put you out in the limelight, you are only going to start having royalties to your pocket when they have recouped all those 5 million through your 30 kobo. These are the kind of contract that we all sign at the time. So you continue to owe the company like forever. And so most of us, we just thank God that God loved us, and then we were able to do so much, doing shows and here and there. But if it is what comes back from you as royalty from sales of records, even when you sold 1 million, you understand, it is 30 kobo out of that million, then to pay back the 5 million the company had spent before you start earning anything. Wow. And so this had impoverished a lot of our musicians over the years, and that's why you see a lot of them living in anguished poverty. And so we fought hard to free this thing from the hands of these wicked people, is to ensure that today we have liberalized the copyright sector. By the way, I am the chairman of the Musical Copyright Society of Nigeria. Some of my colleagues have been to jail. Some of my colleagues have been to prison. Why? Because we couldn't understand why you will build a house. We call it physical property, isn't it? Yeah. And then you have an intellectual property, which is the same. The only thing is one is movable, while the other is not. And then the government at a time regulated the industry to say that only when they give you an approval, you cannot decide who will run your estate. And we said something was wrong. It's a private business. So there's no use government telling us you want to regulate and then you restrict us to only one society. And so we fought this with our tooth and nail until, to God be the glory, 4 years ago, before they now liberalized the entire industry. Wow. So I just wanted to make sure I take you through the route of where we are coming from. But today, we thank God our kids are doing well. This is because of the struggle, because of the structures we have tried to put in place.
Wow. That was real memory lane. You took us there. Our living legend, ORITS WILIKI. We're getting a lot of comments. I'm sure Comrade Lante will be posting some of them. A lot of comments already about you on both YouTube and on our Facebook handle. Please, if you are watching this show, not all the time we get this opportunity to have a big elephant like this in the house. So share this broadcast, and you can even give us stars to support the Comrade Show as we go along. But I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Like people of my generation, we listen to you, the Mandators, Righteous Man,
Majet Fashek,
Ras Kimono. You know, that generation. It was the golden generation of Nigerian music. So going back then, were there times where you particular, you felt like, hang on a moment, should I continue doing this? Were there times you felt like having like any regrets?
Yes, no, I will not use the word regret. There were times I had to think back and say, what is wrong with the system? Because this is what I have decided to do from the one. And there's nothing else I can do that make people, happy, that gives people joy, that gives myself joy as well. Okay? I was an actor at the time with NTA Benin, so when you see that you belong to that sector that make people happy, why you are giving yourself happiness, then we should follow it up with all our heart. Yeah. So we can call it a calling. All right. So there were times, those were the moments where I had to shut down and said, okay, let us fight this fight. Let's fight it. Let's face it headlessly. And so for that 20-something years, some of my colleagues went to prison because of this issue, And so by the time we have come to, El Dorado now, I can say, yes, it's Uhuru, because right now we can see better days ahead. People are scared. Okay, I could hear my brother Lamte saying I couldn't put in any music because of Facebook. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't used to be like that.
Mm.
It doesn't used to be like that. You know, people just violate your works. This program, for example, it will be wrong for somebody to use this program for anything else without due permission from Lamte, because this is his creativity. This is his estate. You know, and so that awareness is everywhere now. You cannot just go and use anybody's music without due authorization. I'm happy about that.
Pharmacist Remira, take over, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Papi Oris Wiliki, for being with us. I can see comments here and there from everybody. In fact, somebody just said that he used to know your father and you are from a good family. And indeed, your father and yourself, you are all good. Thank you for what you've done, because I wanted to ask this question when I was doing a bit of research. It is reported on Wikipedia that you had a clash with the Nigerian Copyright Society when you started the Music Copyright Society. I know you've thrown a bit of light on that. I want to speak more about it, at least for the sake of upcoming musicians. Is your society, in conjunction with the Nigerian Society, paving a way so that this will not happen again, and that young musicians will have a future and they know what to do? Is there a mentoring program for them? Like it is said, freedom doesn't come free, it has to be fought. You have fought for this freedom. Sustaining it going forward is very important. What is the plan for mentorship for upcoming and young musicians?
Unfortunately, our young musicians are not interested in all that. You know, our young musicians, they're not interested in that for now. You know, when the candlelight is still up there, you don't believe there will be a time where that candlelight will start dimming down. You know, and so it is when it starts going down that you start realizing that, oh, there are a lot of mistakes along the path. But I believe that with today, even when you do not believe, there will be time where you will ask yourself, because I get my check, for example, you know, from foreign societies, you know, quarterly. But in Nigeria, over the years, we never had that. We never had that. And that's why that was a battle between us and the Nigeria Copyright Commission. The battle was that they regulated the industry and said only one society will be responsible for the collection of royalties in Nigeria. And we said, okay, if there's going to be any society, it's got to be that society that had been in existence before they came in, because our society was older or is older than the Copyright Commission. And we said, if you're going to do that, then the existing ones should be the one, not a new one that is just being formed. And so that was a battle for like 20-something years.
Thank you, sir. Comrade, I want you to ask our living legend a question. Then we will zero in to the 40-year celebration coming up in October. Your question, Comrade Oriahi.
Yes, you know, it's amazing. You know, the Benin man says, I'm a lawa, I am no ye here. You know, if you do not, I'm a fanoko, I am no way. If you do not enter into a house, you definitely won't know how the house, you know, is like. I mean, it's really, I won't say disturbing, but it's really heartbreaking to hear some of the things we are hearing now. And the general public will not be aware of some of these things. Back in the day, you know, we've already mentioned the likes of mandators, Pupa here, the likes of Majek Fashek. You know, I mean, Felix Liberty here came along. You understand what I'm saying? Now, at some point, I mean, these were the people that, you know, we listened to. You know, we very happy. You know, they ruled the airwaves. Now, you know, it looks like that particular music genre, you know, has departed, you know, or has been put aside. Everybody's now looking at collect your money, you know, and things like that, you know, and we listen to some of the music, the songs we hear now, they really don't make too much meanings, but yet they make so much wave. And the young artists of today, they are making a lot of money. So I want to ask Pupa, you know, do you, for instance, looking at your generation and comparing to what is happening now, though you fought all the fight and all of that, You know, is there a way that this generation, the musicians we have now, you know, the Davidos, the are pay homage to you guys for work you've done so far?
No, there can never be a way. Some of them are very, very disrespectful. Some don't believe they have to know where they're coming from. All they want to do is blow. They just want to blow. You understand? It's not generally, actually, especially to the kind of music we play. To the Fuji, Juju, they have a lot of respect for their colleagues. But when you are out of that kind of music, like what we play, the contemporary, urban music that we play, like reggae and all that, nobody, see your face. You are as good as yesterday. You are as good as your last hit. If you don't have a hit in the market, you are a nobody. You understand? And so what our joy is, like, if my child decides to be a musician tomorrow, now I can encourage him or her. If my grandchildren want to go into music, now I can encourage them, because I know that the structures are falling in place now, unlike what it used to be. You don't really need why do I need their respect? The answer is, if they want to give the respect, yes, but not everybody wants to give the respect. I remember when, I don't want to mention a name, we were in Port Harcourt, myself and Raskimono, one of these popular musicians walked past us, and he called him back. You come here. And he came there, said, kneel down. So the guy knelt down. I said, you will be here for a while. How can you walk past two legends like this? Is it because they are playing music? You understand? And so these are the kind of things that happen in our own sector. You are as good as your success. So if you are not out there, they don't think you deserve any respect.
Wow. Thank you very much for your pinpoint answers. You are just saying it the way it is.
Yes.
And it's no wonder they call you the cool man revolutionary. You say it as it is.
Yes.
And we see all that in your lyrics and all that you do. Now we are driving this home now. The news is out there. Our living legend ORITS WILIKI, that this year makes it 40 years that you've been on stage as a musician.
That's right.
Not many people, have that kind of longevity. And like, it's been publicized already, it's out there in the media space. There is a program that's going to happen in Lagos,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, in October.
Right. Yes.
So I want you to let us into it. What?
Okay.
40 years on stage. What is this? What is it? What is it going to look like?
Okay, I took you back to when it was 30 years on stage. That's 10 years ago.
Yes.
Now it was like a 2-week activity. Then we had novelty matches, we had symposium, we had gala nights. Gala nights happen in both Lagos and Warri. So I really enjoyed myself. I felt fulfilled that, listen, in my own lifetime, I am seeing me being celebrated. And so these 40 years came up, and I would say, oh, fine, you cannot do that 30 and not do 40. I mean, it's 10 years, 1 decade. It's worth celebrating. And doing it this time, we'll have people coming in, to say, oh, this, I think, is the way you should be celebrated. So they took it off me, and said, okay, their friends are going to come together to plan this thing. And so we have different committees, doing different things. Like your own committee, my brother Tony and the Lapte, it's part of what you are doing now. So we had the organizing committee, and we had the advisory committee headed by BC Olatinlo, and so you have this program for a project that is going to happen on that day. We have lots of activities. I looked at, just like what you were saying, I look at the pool of our own cultural music, our songwriting we have done over the years. There's nothing our children are doing now, because that is where they go back to either pick up melody lines or pick up lyrical lines or pick up hook lines And so there's nothing new they're actually doing. All they do is just take a hook line there, put on a new beat, and then they are stars, you know. But they don't hardly know that people actually work so hard to write these songs. And I look at myself, I said, nobody celebrates nobody until you die in Nigeria. And I said, to God forbid, I will celebrate myself, you know, before I die.
Amen.
All right. And so while celebrating myself, I looked at those, you know, ahead of me, people like the Kingston Ades, the Ebenezer Obeys, the Onyeka Onwenus, the Bright Chimezes, the Bongos Ikwe, the Osayomore Joseph, unfortunately, that just passed on, Salawa Abeni, Shino Peters, T-Mac. These are people who deserve a serious award for their contributions in songwriting into that cultural heritage of ours. And I said, I am going to celebrate them along. So I'm going to give them all awards of recognition, you know, for being part of those who have put on this foundation, this pool of songs that will form the future Nigerian music. Look at Afrobeat. Fela did it. Afrobeat is taking over the whole world now. It's from Nigeria. How much publicity do the young ones give to show that, yes, this song, this particular genre of music was created by somebody called Fela and Nicola Kokuti? They just smile to the bank and they are making money. No proper credit is given. And so I said, this celebration, I will give each and every one an award. Then you are going to also have 40 of my songs in golden disc, which will be ushered in that day. So 40 of them, for example, if you like Tribulation, you see Tribulation in a golden disc, which will be available. I'm going to also launch 2 albums of 20 songs, new. So you're going to have great concerts on that day. I'm going to be performing, you know, some of those songs. And then, because I'm also a global ambassador for domestic violence, so I am shooting a short 5-minute film, you know, to support the fight against domestic violence. So all this will happen on that day, and some other surprises maybe.
Wow, what a package! Before I go to Comrade Oriahi, something you said now that just swept me off my feet is you are celebrating 40 years on stage, and yet you want to even celebrate others and give award. In fact,
yes, because they are worth celebrating.
You are a living legend. I don't know. I'm just lost for what. Comrade, please take it from there.
To be honest, you know, the plan for the 40th anniversary is not just a celebration of you know, Popa Revolution. It's a celebration of an age. You know, it's a celebration of an era, a celebration of the golden age of our music. The reason why I have so much respect for you, sir, and of course those in your class, is because when I listen to today, I still enjoy, you know, the music of yesteryears more than I do the ones of today. Because the reason is the music of yesteryears, like the songs from ORITS, WILIKI, and, you know, his contemporaries, they still make meanings. They are evergreen. They are forever relevant. You understand? So you listen to them, you still take something away. I mean, there are so many songs today that people just go to the studio, and these days people don't even work hard. Actually, it's just to sit down in front of the computer, pull the lyrics together, and, you know, find some tunes along with it, and that's it. But in the days of you know, ORITS and his contemporaries, people will have to beat the drum. People will have to be on the keyboard. People will have to write songs. There will be rehearsals upon rehearsals upon rehearsals, and all of so much hard work going into it. And every song is meaningful. Sir, looking at the way, you know, the music industry has evolved, and I'm glad now you want to release, you know, 2 albums, you know, 20 songs, you know, in 2 albums. Do you still think that your kind of music and the music you do can still compete favorably with the way society has moved, the direction society has moved to music-wise, particularly with these young people just doing some things, sometimes a repetition of so many, just a few words, and they made music and all of that, and yes, they are smiling to the banks. Do you think that your songs in this era can compete and you smile to the bank as much as these younger folks are smiling to the banks?
Yes, I just believe we can even do better. You know, the problem we've had is a systemic problem. You understand? It's a problem with the media. Okay? In the past, you realize that there was in the air, there was Microcre in the air, there was Kwam One in the air, there was Raskimono, ORITS, WILIKI, Mandatos, all in the air. I believe the sky was big enough and we never had any accident clashing because there was a tutorial course for people who wants to be a broadcaster to go to the school to learn broadcasting and presentation. Okay? I remember Sonny Rabo, who used to be the teacher for all of them. You have the FRCN, school that was available. You go for the training. And so when you come to become a presenter, you are a researcher on your own.
Yeah.
To play good music. The music you want to play tomorrow, you have done research on each and every artist, because I come from that background too. I was once a broadcaster as well. And so you do research on the jobs you want to play tomorrow. Peradventure, somebody might ask you a question. Why presenting? So you'll be bold enough to answer because you have done the research on this artist you want to play.
Yeah.
But today, to zero in on one genre of music everywhere, for me, is a very, very wrong thing. You zero in on one genre of music as if other music don't exist.
Don't exist.
So I'm challenging you that if you continue to play all other music side by side, people will have a choice to say, oh, thank God we have a breath of fresh air. But people are not getting those vibes. They are not playing it on air. So how will people hear? I tell you, Lamte, you can just go and do kukuruku on a beat. Let them play that beat for every day for the next 3 months. Kukuruku will be a hit, will be everywhere. So it's a media thing. If the media can only stop and said, let us be fair, let us give adequate time for all that kind of genre of music, not just collect your money only. They are our children. I like what they are doing, but you see, music comes in circles.
Yeah.
Music come in circles.
In circles.
So you ask yourself, in 10, 15 years time, will this be in vogue? We've done music where I'm still collecting royalty 30, 40 years ago. Okay? Because it's relevant. There are music that are inspired to write. It's not just going to the studio uninspired and then I create beat and put words and no. Ours was like a calling. You are inspired to write a song because this song is going to outlive you. This song we are like instrument, that message is passed through. I can't even explain what music is like spiritually. All right. I wrote a song. Don't Blame the Youth. I released this job in 1989, but I wrote the song in 1980, 9 years after. That's when I released it. Okay. When I released that job in 1989, hardly did I know I used the word banditry. Okay. Nations fighting against nations. Fathers fighting against their children.
Yeah.
Children fighting against their father. And so today, when I started hearing banditry, I said, oh, I talked about banditry over 30 years ago. So we are like the Nostradamus musically because whatever Fela said how many years ago was even better in his time. If you agree with me, it's worse now. It's worse now. So which means we're actually enjoying when we were crying wolf.
Yeah.
we're actually enjoying when we're crying wolf. Pharmacist
Yes. Sorry, Dr. Agmons. Sorry,
Yeah.
pardon me, sir. I know you are handling this. Pupa,
Yes, sir.
for this one you've just said, many
Yeah.
Nigerians are wondering, that particular track. Can we just hear, a bit of it? I know that we are not playing the official, song from YouTube. Just a bit of it. Just
Don't
to
blame the youth. Don't blame the youth now.
Rastafari.
Don't blame the youth. Don't blame the youth, lad. Long time ago, it was said that time shall come when fathers shall fight against them children, and children shall fight against them fathers. What a prophecy fulfilled. It's hard time we knew that we live in the last days, when earthquakes are happening very way. Destruction, banditry, and so on, and so on, and so on. We said this long ago.
Henry Bakare on Facebook just said, ORITS and his contemporaries were prophets.
Yes.
Back in the day. I mean, it's prophecy. Today, banditry is the order of the day.
Yes.
Over to you, Dr. Agmons.
Yes.
We are with
In
the
fact,
prophet.
this, you see, the voice has remained the same. I'm going to ask you a question about this, your voice later. Pharmacist Remira, please take the mic, my brother, and
Papi ORITS, I just want to beg you, you are not going to leave us without singing what this, what that, but not now. Just
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to sing it later.
Okay.
But just listening to you, I'm surprised. I'm happy. People out there blame these musicians for not doing so well as expected.
That's
but
right.
we don't know, like what Lante would always say, the within and the problems inside, which
Yes.
you are just giving now. And you
Yes.
said something very striking, that young musicians are making money now. They are not thinking of their pension tomorrow.
No.
And their pension tomorrow is the royalty after. It's just like
Exactly.
before. You have the
Exactly.
existence to live 10, 20 years. After then, you are gone if you don't save for the rainy day.
God
But on
bless
that note, I'm also worried because people like you are important now. You mentioned a whole lot of people, and I see that you cannot exist without the government. It seems that the government too has failed to realize the role of keeping library and industry of these people. Is there a meeting point with all the people you mentioned? I was so happy you mentioned BC Olatilo and others.
Yeah.
Are you people meeting together to try to pave a way, because you have the power to see if you can influence government to create that road which the young musicians are not seeing today, but we know will be very relevant for them in the future? If that has not been considered, I want to beg you to see, just for the sake of posterity, and not only for your music, but for music to continue in Nigeria, for your society to weave that into plan so that that will be there. Whether the young musicians take it or not will not be their problem. But I think they will, because of issues going forward. Then another thing I want to say as well. I know Two-Face used to do this. I don't know if he stopped recently or he's done. He used to do it before. He has collaborated a few with very old generational musicians, and I love those collabos. I don't know if your group is creating that platform where these young ones can collaborate with you, and you just miss the music to bring those things back home, because indeed they need to learn. And the last question, I'm very happy with the domestic violence that you talked about, because this is nowhere in Africa, although it has been there for a very long time. I want to beg you to use your space and your media opportunity to expatiate on this, because family is at the heart of everything we do. And just before I leave you, please let your 40-year celebration, let Benin City play a role, because of course we like you and we know you there.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Let me take them one by one. Is there any attempt, to create some kind of maybe Hall of Fame? Is that what? If I got you right, some kind of
music library.
Yeah, music library.
think we lost his contact there.
His signal
Yeah,
has.
the signal has been very good. Just to before we get Pupa Oris Wiliki back on, I just want to say that with respect to what you were trying to say with the collabo, I think Two Face have done it with it did a song with
I think with Victor Waifo.
Majek Fachek. He did with Victor Waifo. He did Jerome. I think with Majek Fachek. He did Holy Spirit, that popular song with Majek Fachek. I think that collabo beat is one. And Two Face also did with this.
Yeah.
Yes, he did with him as well. So, comrade, on the collabo thing, can you take it off from there? What is your own take?
To be honest, some of the things I've heard, right now from Pupa Revolution, they are quite striking. Striking not in a very palatable sense. And I think that for the stability of our industry, things need to change. A bit better. Okay, so to that extent, because right now it's not just the new, the young musicians, that have issues really. The entire media space, the broadcasters, everybody's now tilted towards this generation, our young musicians, and we are leaving these sages behind. Sort of like he said, if the media will not give attention to what they are doing, there is no way their voices will be heard, and yet they are still doing a lot. So I honestly think that it should begin from there. There should be equal space. As much as I hear the likes of Davido and Two Face and all of those young lads on the radio, we probably still need to be hearing the messages from the class of ORITS WILIKI, as it were. That way, yes, like he said, people can begin to make some choices from there. You understand what I'm saying? And all of that. So I honestly think that there is the need for a proper overhaul of all of these arrangements, so that because my brother Austin, to be very honest with you, like I said earlier, I still enjoy loads of what those guys produce. You understand the messages inherent in them more than I do, with these ones we have right now. You understand? So this one we have right now, yes, they are good for the dance beats, but a lot of them have no messages to pass on. And the other day I was talking to my wife and I was saying, man, why is it that currently the kind of music we hear from our people has to do with Nyash, has to do with the beautiful girl? Or the messages are mostly centered about beautiful girl and prosperity, Nyash, money. You don't really hear those deep, messages like we did, prophetic messages anymore. You understand? So I honestly think that I am not condemning what we have now, but I think that everything is good for different occasions. You understand? Depending on the occasion, but we must not allow this golden generation just pass away and be forgotten. That's my take.
Yeah, thank you very much, Comrade Lante. Viewers, we are sorry. The legend himself is reconnecting. We are keeping an eye on him. He will be joining us in the studio very shortly. But while he's doing that, we just continue the conversation with regards to the work that this generation of ORITS WILIKI, Majek Fache, Raskimono, you know them, the mandators, Christy Esia Ngbokwe, Onyeka Owenu before them, Sonny Ade, Ebenezer Obey, Bright Chimezie, that generation, Righteous Man. We can go on and on and on, Shino Peters. These were outstanding musicians. And comrade, you were just talking about something now, and I want to ask pharmacist Remiran this question. Today is like sex and violence is being glamorized, and some of us, this is very disturbing. Even though the rhythm is danceable, but there's a lot of nudity in the music we hear today.
Yeah.
Comrade Pharmacist Iramiran, what is your take on this?
Dr. Tony Agbons, thank you so much for bringing it out. And I think our viewers and even the young musicians should not misconstrue what we are discussing now. We are not saying that the music that they sing these days is not sweet. But what we are saying that some of them haven't got so much meaning. And if you look at the video as well, some of the videos are also showing more of those other things. One can argue that it is the society at the moment. It's a pure reflection, Dr. Tony Agbons, of what our society has been. The clamor for prosperity, wealth, and privileges have taken morality to the back door. You see, we talked about these musicians being prophets because they saw tomorrow. So it is what our society has left us. I dare say it's also due to poor governance at home, and of course in the society. And of course, that's what people want to watch now, because they don't have their forebearers, no good mentors anymore. And like Dr. Correlate would always say, when you hear something so much, even if it's a lie, because you are hearing it so much, it becomes truth. And WILIKI alluded to that as well. That this present music, the nudity, those funny things, are getting the airwaves, and that begin to get the attraction of people. They are good, but in my own personal view, I think they should be reduced. Music should be something that teaches you lessons. Music should give you inspiration. You know, I love Fela music. I love reggae music. I listen to them because they give you some sense of meaning. Musicians are in their own right prophets. So I think at some point we'll get the balance. That is why important people like these legends, should not leave this industry alone. They need to guide it. And we need to have a system where all musicians will be trained and enlightened. I was surprised when he said that Sonny Rabo used to be teachers of these musicians. I was surprised.
No, presenters. He's presenters.
Presenters and all that stuff. So where are the mentors to at least give these upcoming musicians the right way to follow? You know, and then I'm also happy that apart from just music, he mentioned something about domestic violence, which I talked about. I think that aspect of WILIKI present situation and fight is absolutely very important. You produce what you get in the society. Whatever we get now is a reflection of what our society has become. It's all about prosperity, money, wealth, no hard work. So anything goes.
So I just wanted to follow up, Dr. Agbons.
Go on, Lamte.
I don't want to be myopic about it, because this subject matter, I think there's a systemic challenge. It's not just about music. Let's go to our social media, for instance. Okay, you see a girl, right? That is very fashionable for young ladies to just, even elderly ladies sometimes, they just put some music or put their camera, hang it somewhere. You know, they just walk past, then they have their nash exposed, their bonbon. You understand what I'm saying now? Or they do some dance, they call it twerking. You understand what I'm saying? When you check every twerk by a young lady, it's got more views than somebody who is passing some wisdom message somewhere. I don't know what you understand what I'm saying now. Society right now is so attracted to, you know, the beauty of a woman, the body shape of a woman, the nudity of a woman. And so music is taking advantage of that, because that sells itself. Somebody does a video, a meaningless video, bringing some very, you know, beautiful looking and what's it called? Naked.
Yeah.
You know. Just to interject so that we get a balance. Even the men, they also like the nudity of the men. Also,
the men too, with six pack and
with six pack matter.
A good third leg and all that.
We that have a bit of belly now, we are not fashionable anymore. You know,
so you know, get six pack as you sit down there. So
I see one. I see one like with the talk of 6.
Then we make all of us go back. We have to go back to the gym, Olante.
That is the matter, my brother. You know, some people now just take pains to go back to go to the gym, kill themselves there. Some women now take the pains. They not get Kukuma first get the nyash. They want to go and do a butt enlargement. Some get into problems in the long run. So many problems. Society is now posing a different challenge as far as these matters are concerned. And so
Yes.
I think that if there must be change, it's got to be holistic. And I think that government has a role to play in redirecting the value system of our people.
Yeah, I think we're very lucky. We're happy to have Pupa ORITS, the legend, back. But before Pupa will, he's just setting up again now his system. One thing I just want to point out is this, and is what Comrade Lonte Oriaki have said, and Comrade Pharmacist Remira have said. Please, we are not in any way castigating the music of today. We are not. I love Whiskey. Davido is my guy. I love Burna Boy. You all know them. Even Kiss Daniel that is raving now.
You sing and collect your money.
So even me, I want even Bogas. I did here. So we love this. But what we are saying is that things should be done moderately. The level of nudity in some of the videos is just it's not really good for our children. We need to play it down. We know, like we have said, if you put anything on Facebook or YouTube, nakedness, either a man that is half naked or a woman that is half naked, or showing off, this hot part of the body, the views will just go to 1 million. So I think society we need to look at
Dr. Agbons, you look at it just to interject.
Yes.
We try to run a very what's it called, responsible platform.
Yeah, balanced.
I have balanced as much as possible. I have seen platforms where people just talk about vulgar things. Some even trade.
When you say vulgar, break it down. Break down this one.
When I mean vulgar, we have platforms right now. I have been very concerned. Some of our Benin brothers and sisters, okay, it's a whole display of show of shame, insult, all of those kind of things and all of that. When you check it, the whole world is viewing what's happening there. It's becoming like a Syria. This one thought, the other one thought, say they will cause Ogun, cause Sango, display so much irresponsibility, and yet they have so much followership, they have so much interest. When you put on one, they're not some people say, man, they are proponents of Ekia and Uhe, the sex organ of male and female. They say they do all sort of drama around those things and all of that. That gets so much patronage. So at the end of the day, society, apart from music, has just tilted towards this direction. So I dare say that we probably need some sort of reorientation, redefinition of our value system, and government has a role to play in that. Well, Oris is back. Over to you.
we have the legend back. Legend, is your audio back now and video? We can see you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So just if you can push your, so that we get more headroom and see your face. It's only your, okay. I think it's fine this way. We manage with this. Yeah. So going back to our discussion on the 40 years on stage. Maybe comrade, you have to put him on the other window where I am. Thank you for that. Yeah, 40 years on stage. October, I think it's October 22nd. October 2nd or 22nd?
Second.
Okay, October 2nd, Eco Hotel and Suite. So this event, is it just a one day? Because we are rounding up very soon. Is it just a one day event? Yes, it's a one day event. So, on that very day, the legend, what do you want Nigerians to expect in that program?
Well, it's to expect a better me. They said the older the wine, the sweeter it becomes. When I look at myself, sometimes I'm even surprised who I am. Because I just see that I'm so loved by God that He deposited so much inside of me that I have not even exhausted 1/3 of what I have inside of me. So I keep saying I am only lucky, and it is only by His grace. And that's why I said, till I die, I will continue to give God the thanks, the praises that He deserves.
Yeah. So, pharmacist Remiran, we have the living legend here with us. Our society is such that it is until people die, that is when we celebrate them. When people hear that somebody has passed on, like Osamori Joseph passed on the other day, Victor Waifo, you see people, social media was agog. Oh, may his soul rest in peace. Blah, blah, blah. He was a great man. He did this. So now we have a legend like WILIKI, is alive and healthy, and he's celebrating 40 years. What is your advice to Nigerians all over the world?
Thank you so much, Dr. Agbons, for that platform. WILIKI is not just celebrating 40 years on stage. He has told us he's celebrating other musicians with him. That is a hand of extension. And that is what all of us need to do. Because like it is said, if you don't blow your trumpet, nobody will blow it for you. And people like WILIKI begin to start doing this and begin to remember others. Those coming behind him will also remember him, and the chain will continue. You've said it on countless occasions in this show that knowledge of elderly people is like a library. It needs to be treasured. So WILIKI, as you have started this, I want to say that you will do 50, and if God give you the time, you will do 60, you do 70, and you begin to celebrate other people with you, so that it will be a storyline that everybody would carry on and continue in that light. I still believe your generation still has a lot to do, so that lineage of good music and performance would continue. I can only say congratulations. And I want to beg you, in this celebration, can you do something in Benin? Last time you did something in Warri, you need to do something in Benin. My own Benin.
You have at least two songs in Benin coming out of the 20. Let me keep you under the wrap.
That's and another thing I want to say, for many of us, your fans in diaspora, will this program be online? Or how do people join? How do people celebrate?
The committee is trying to see if they can put it up, on the Zoom when this program comes up. I don't think they've not concluded those plans. Once it gets to that time, I will still give you the brief of how you can participate.
Okay. One other thing I want to ask our legend is a lot of people have been asking me, even when we started circulating the publicity for this program. Your songs, where can they really get them to buy, to play, and listen to, and stream?
You can go to my official YouTube channel, Pupa ORITS official YouTube channel. Just click on it. I'm sure you will see not less than 140 something songs there. Or otherwise, you go to my website, www.cowrymediatv.com.
Please, if you can take that again, sir.
Okay, you can go to my official YouTube channel, which is Pupa ORITS official YouTube channel. Just type and search. It will take you to my official channel. Otherwise, you can visit my website, which is www.cowrymediatv.com.
Can you spell the Cowry, please?
Cowry is COWRIE. Media, MEDIA.TV.com.
Thank you very much, sir. So, comrade,
you can actually follow updates on the preparations for the 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
So what you can do is you type 4 decades on stage .cowrymediatv.com. 4 decades, 4 decades on stage .cowrymediatv.com. You can follow as a subdomain.
Thank you very much. The good thing with social media is that it can be replayed, and I'm sure our viewers.
Dr. Agbons, I wanted to suggest, by way of equally, adding our own, support. Definitely, I want to assure you, legend, that whatever we can help, we can do to support the program. Please don't hesitate to let us know. But I want to suggest to the team, just before the October, if it is possible, we can bring ORITS back on, and probably with some other key members of the different committees, to share moments like this and equally open the lines, involve more people, to speak, and of course, people can equally make pledges privately and all of that. I think that would help, honestly.
Absolutely.
Make it a more public, like a mini summit. You understand what I'm saying? Now, towards the 40th 40 years anniversary. I don't know what you guys think. Yeah,
That would be great.
it will be on Zoom. More people will be here and all of. I mean, let's us do it. A general public, celebration of this process.
That would be wonderful. That would be massive. Lampe. God bless you, my dear brother.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we are winding down now. We'll be talking music. I'm sure there are some other simple things that you do, the legend. So when you are not, writing songs, you are not on the keyboard, you are not playing drums, you are not playing the guitar, what do you do at your leisure time? People will want to know.
Oh, leisure. Okay.
Yeah.
I enjoy cooking.
Okay.
Wow.
I enjoy cooking. I enjoy swimming. Yeah, cooking. I love
No
cooking.
wonder you are looking younger, sir. Hey, now we are beginning to see the secrets inside the matter.
I enjoy cooking. I enjoy swimming. I enjoy, cycling.
Okay.
These artists that make people look younger.
Yes, but especially that swimming. Swimming keeps the body really fresh. Yeah.
Wow.
Very, very nice.
Yes.
What do you expect from an Okekiri man?
Sir, I will ask this. So no,
Yes.
I don't know how you're going to do it. May not be good. We're in a political era right now. We know what Nigeria has been like. Everybody, old, young, everybody is watching. Of course, you have talked about aspects of what Nigeria has been providing, not good enough, and all of that. In 2023 elections, presidential elections, and the future of Nigeria, as a person, what do you expect to see? What are you expecting? What Nigerian future are you expecting, particularly compared to what we have right now?
I am praying every day, my dear brother, for a divine intervention, because elections have come and gone same way. So much expectation, each time anyone comes in, we have so much expectation, and by the time they come in, the expectations start winding down. And then you are in for a duel for another 8 years. So I pray every day that God should intervene in the problem of Nigeria, because there is no country as blessed as Nigeria all over the world. None. In terms of everything, what we lack is good leadership. If God can this time hear our prayers and present to us a young, vibrant leadership, devoid of greed, devoid of party templates, because that's what has been happening. If you bring an angel today, the way it's been happening, the party decides what happens. If you don't like, they can even take you away quickly. Because every party has their own devilish templates they already established. And so when they come to you and say you have gotten the certificate to represent us, then you must also agree that you work with the template of the party. So you might be a very, very good person who meant well, just like Jonathan. At the end of the day, there's so much you can do without the party interference. And so when you try to take an action that is singular, they turn against you and say, oh no, you must work with the party template. So we need God's absolute divine to change the narrative of Nigeria. And I believe he will listen to us this time, because we don't suffer rich, my brother.
Yeah, we don't suffer. And those are some of the things that your generation have been singing about. Just
Yes.
yesterday, I was listening to the Mandators Rat Race, and that was 1989. I was like,
Right.
if that was Rat Race, then this time is Elephant Race we are in now, because the rat would have
Honestly.
grown big. Yes.
Honestly.
So we are winding down. Really a pleasure to have you here, our living legend, ORITS
Thank you so much,
WILIKI.
my brother.
So, Comrade Pharmacist Remiran, final remark. I'm just going to go around.
Made a request to.
Yes, I made a request for Wadis Wada.
Wadis Wada. Rastafari.
Okay. Oh, 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 no, no, no. Hey, papa. No food, no fuel, no shelter. Hey, they have them eyes but cannot see nothing. They have them ears but cannot hear nothing. You are the same tribe of iniquity who betrayed Jesus Christ. You are the same generation who crucified Jesus Christ. Yet they don't know what they were doing. Oh, all I see is nepotism. Yeah. What is what that? No, no. All I see is greed and bribery, blowing every station, but no one is doing nothing to stop it. See them all out and go perish.
Thank you so much, brother.
You see, the songs are just coming out. You are singing alone. This is a solo. I say now when the person is singing solo, either they know good musician will get voice. But my favorite song, and I've told you this so many times, the living legend, is the 10th commandment. The 10th commandment. That is my own request. I don't know if you can put that one.
See it falling, the words of Babylon. I see them falling by the wayside. Oh yeah, they came to school us with that brainwash education. They came to teach us their own way that will split us apart. Ooh wee, ooh wee. We don't need no Babylon or its mermaids. All we know is the 10 commandments. The Babylon law could be twisted anyway, but in Jah commandment, you don't have no escape. I tell you, wanted, are you wanted? Or they wanted anyway? Yes, sir.
Right, Rastafari, here's Selassie, man.
Bless him.
Thank you, my brethren. Thank you, my brethren.
Thank you.
May I appreciate you. May I feel love you.
I want to thank the team, Lamte and the team, Tony Agbons and the team, and my other brother, please. I thank you so much. I'm very honored. I appreciate this you have done for me. To God be the glory.
Thank you.
Just before you leave, I'll let you know that Dr. Agbons will be in contact with you to make the second arrangement. I like that. You know, we're going to discuss it and, of course, look at the framework. Hope by the grace of God we get that done as part of our contribution.
That will be fine. Thank you so much, my brother.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yes. Thank you so much, our living legend, the icon, and once in a generational lifetime, we have, people like this. God just brings them to society to shaping things up. So, viewers of the Comrade Show, we are going to call it a day here. Thank you for being with us today, and apologies for the little technical hitch and the glitch we had midway, but I think God has seen us through. We want to, thank you for, keeping faith with us and staying with us all through today. We are really pleased for being with us. You can still share this broadcast so that others who may not have watched it live can follow through. On behalf of Comrade Lamte Ponsa Oriahi, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Agboje Remiran, and my humble self. We're signing off now. On this segment, we call the Comrade and Friends. Have a beautiful week. God bless your week.
Comrade Show. Wait. Comrade Lante Oriaki. Like us. Follow us and be the first to know. This is